Silence used to terrify me. I'm not talking about the external quiet, although that absolutely terrified me. The inner silence, the inner stillness, because when it was quiet, I couldn't hide. The feelings, the questions, the truth that something was unsettling, something was off, something was stirring. Last week, my good friend, soul sister, left her dog with us for about 10 days. And she lives in an apartment. And so she has to take her dog out on walks pretty frequently. Now, I'm blessed, Jake is blessed that we have a little bit of a backyard so he can go out and run. And so I don't take him for walks every single day. And with the Texas heat, we have to go really, really in the morning or right after sunset before the sun fully sets. And so I decided to take walks with the dogs in the morning, not only because Nala needed and was used to walks, but because having two dogs in the house can be a little much, especially when you're not used to it. Now, she's a doll and she's a super sweetheart, but I wanted to get their energy out, right? And so every morning after the sun rised, before it got too hot, because here in Texas, by 10 o'clock in the summer, we're at about 90 degrees. And so I decided to take these silent walks. No music, no podcast in my ears, no catching up on Voxer messages from my friends, no sending messages to my friends, no listening to Facebook Lives or YouTube videos, none of it. Just me, just the dogs, and just nature. And something became or came into my awareness. At first, I found myself rushing, right? Like, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's hurry up and get this walk done so that I can get back and do my work, right? It was like a thing I had to add into my morning routine. And so it was like, we got to fit this in. It's got to rush it. And I noticed that I was like having this feeling of rushing it because I'm not the type of person that gets up and meditates and journals and reads and, makes my coffee and sits. Like, that's not the first thing I do. I am the type of person that gets up, gets dressed, like takes a shower, gets mostly ready, cleans up the kitchen or tidies up if I need like a few dishes in the sink, wipes the counters, right? Fixes the living room, the pillows, the blankets if we use them, like just kind of tidy up really quick. So there's a lot of movement in my morning. And then I feel like, okay, that's all settled. I can sit down for a minute with my coffee, with my journal. I can meditate. I can do my breath work. I can journal. I can do all the things, right? But after that, so these walks, it was like in that still energy of like, go, 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 go. And so I was like, hold up, Danny, hold up, because I was stuck in go mode. And I was like, what if I just allow myself to be more present? What if I seeked to see what was here for me instead of rushing? And so I started to notice, right? I started to be aware of my environment more. And so I saw the ant hills, that the ants were building. I saw the bird nests in the trees. I saw the little roly poly on his way to work down the sidewalk. And I started to feel my breath moving through my chest, the heat, the sun starting to warm. And I just started to like notice these subtle little things. But what I wasn't expecting to notice was some grief that I didn't know was still living in me. Now, last week, I talked about how my relationship with my mom and how that has been a very challenging relationship. And there was a deeper layer around that that was ready to be released based on this book that I had just finished reading. And I wouldn't have realized that deeper grief that was there that was ready to kind of come up had I not taken the time to slow down, to be present, and to start to notice. So, this episode, my friend, is for the part of you that wants to stop, that wants to slow down, that wants to sit with your inner self, but still fears what that silence might say. And I've got some thoughts for you on what you might want to consider as you encounter that silence. So, first thing, here's what I've learned. And so, if we have not met yet, first off, hello, my friend, Danny Simoni's here, Inner Work Alchemist. I truly, truly love helping introverted, high achieving women do the deep soul work that is getting in the way of them implementing the strategies, the things that they're supposed to be doing in their business or they want to do in their life that are stopping them. And so these videos here, this is part of our Rise and Align series that you can catch here on the YouTube channel, as well as on the podcast, same name, The Cosmic Mystic. You might call me the Cosmic Mystic because here we've got astrology, the cosmos, the inner world, the outer world. We're working with it all, my friend. And this series in particular is to activate our minds, our bodies, and our soul. So at the end of each of these Rise and Align series, you'll find a 20-ish minute breath work to really help you integrate this information, to release what is not for you any longer, and to choose something new. It is our weekly pause, as I like to say, a weekly pause for us to take that breath, to come into stillness, to come into ourself, and to really do that work. So here's something that I have come to appreciate because, as I said, I have not always appreciated silence. In fact, when growing up, the TV was always on in our home, whether it was the Channel 5 morning news or it was a TV show that was on. And as my parents got older and as I got older, my dad loved to watch all of the jury shows or the what is it? Not jury, the court shows. There you go. That's what it was. The court shows. So like the People's Court, Judge Judy, right? And so, or, in some of those years, it was, those reality shows. And so there was always noise, right? And so I was very used to noise. And even when I lived on my own, I would find myself getting up in the morning and putting on either the radio or my music or putting on, like back in the day, she listened to Pandora a lot. So I put like Pandora playlists on, or I would have my TV on, watch the news, right? And so much so that there was always sound, right? And sometimes I still like the sound in the morning. Now it's a little bit different because I'm usually listening to some type of podcast or audiobook, or depending on my mood, I might listen to like some chant music. It just depends on what I'm needing in that morning. But there is still sometimes, right? And then most of the time though, there is silence. Most of the time I love silence. I love to just sit in my office here in silence and just allow, right? Whether I'm working or whether I'm sitting, journaling or reading or something, that silence is so beautiful to me. It's become very sacred to me because silence is when your soul, my soul, is speaking. It's where I get to receive the wisdom that I've been seeking externally. But the wisdom is always here, right? I remember back when I used to go to church, right? And I would pray and pray and pray and pray, but I never stopped to listen. I never stopped to listen to God's answers, right? I never stopped to listen to, help me with this and help me with that. And I need this, right? And I never stopped to listen to the wisdom, right? To be guided maybe to a passage in the Bible or guided to a particular action, right? I just prayed, just asked for the things and hoped they came. And it wasn't until I got more and more into my own practices that I was like, oh, wait, I need to listen. I need to listen to what God's saying, to source, creation, universe, to the divine, to my guides, to my highest self, to my soul, right? What is my soul trying to tell me? What is the wisdom that it has? But we've been conditioned or trained, right, to feel every pause, every silence, every moment. It's got to be filled with something, so much so that our devices, right, constantly going off here and there because, God forbid we miss a text or we don't respond within a few moments. I stopped hustling and I started grounding. We constantly want to hustle for the next thing, solve the next thing, reach for the next strategy, the next solution, the next modality, the next healing. When what we actually need most, my friend, is space. Space to feel, space to remember, space to process, space to hear the message underneath the noise. My friend, oftentimes I hear my clients saying, like, well, Danny, you know, I'm not able to do this and I'm not able to do this. And I don't know what my vision is. I don't know what my next identity is. I don't know who I am without this or that. I don't like, there's all of the I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And my friend, normally what I'll say to them is like, it's okay. It's okay not to know. And sit in silence. Sit in silence. Allow yourself space. We want to rush through processing things, right? If something happens, it's like, okay, I got to hurry up and process this so that I can move on to the next thing. But my friend, processing, it can take time. It can take time. And if we are not adding that into our weekly calendars, time to process, like I legit have time on my calendar that is specifically, and it's called Sacred Time with Danny. It's my sacred time that I have every single week that is just for me. It is for me to process something. It is for me to work on something. So as I mentioned earlier, that grief that I found, with my mom, I'm like, okay, it wasn't for me to say, oh, great, now I got to go work on this thing. It was like, there is something there. I need to go sit with that. So I know my sit with Danny time is for me to go and process that. I might not be able to process it by myself, right? I might open the Akashic records. I might ask for guidance. They might give me some solution and I might need more support. So, okay, that means I might need to go ask a healer to help me, right? I might need somebody else to help me with this, or I might be able to do it on my own. I don't know, but I have to go sit and see what's there. Okay. So sometimes when things come up, it's not like you have to act on it right away. You might just need to sit with it. Okay. And that's where this space, it's like, I don't know if you like, I love to like fill up my calendar with all the things. And some people need like a lot of white space. And I do like white space. Like I'll say like today, as I'm recording this, this is a day I have one thing for my Sacred CEO community, but outside of that, I don't have to show up for anybody, for anything. Like I have no appointments on my schedule. And that was chosen. Like I chose today to have as this admin day, this creation day where I am in creation mode. And so that is space for me, right? But in that day, I fill it up with all of these lovely things that I need to do. But these are things that I don't necessarily have to do. It is space for myself. Yes, I created a full day, but they're not things that are urgent, right? I go through my items and I'm like, is this urgent? Is this high urgency? Is this low urgency? Is this important? Is this not important? What are the things? And I look and I'm like, okay, I got like one or two things maybe that are important. The rest I don't need to do. And so there's space there. If I'm feeling like I want to create more, I'll create more. If I'm feeling like I want to go sit and read my book, I'll go sit and read my book. If I'm feeling like I want to go journal, I'll go journal. I want to do a breath work. I want to dive into a lesson on something that I'm learning, whatever that is. I have space. My friend, do you have space in your calendar? Have you allowed yourself space and space for whatever? It might be space that you do need to sit and feel into something, or it might be you do need that space just to feel into something, or space to receive the insights that you've been asking for. I absolutely love my daily ground. It's not a daily grind, it's a daily ground. And stillness is part of that. Slowing down is part of that. Space is part of that. And not just because I wanted peace, because that's what it does, first off. First off, it creates some peace, right? There is some peace that you just feel like if you are somebody that has that white space on your calendar and you're like, oh my God, that feels so good, right? Like when I woke up today and I was like, I have this day to myself, right? Like it felt so good. Yes. However, what it also does is it allows for my power. It allows for me to amplify my power. It allows for me to connect with my power, allows for me to look at what is draining my power. We've been talking a lot about reclaiming our power here in the Rise and Align series. This space, this stillness, this silence helps me do that. I love, love, love to complicate things. Love it, right? They always say keep it simple, but I love to make things harder than they need to be. I'm sure I'm not the only one. And yet, when I stop overcomplicating something, when I slow down, when I pause, I receive. And so, my friend, I'm going to invite you to slow down, to pause, to receive. Now, I also know that it can be scary to do this because, as I said, there is some fear here because things might come up that I don't want to deal with, right? And I'm going to put that in quotations, to deal with. So here's my thoughts on that. Now, I'm first off a firm believer in that things take time, habits take time, new beliefs take time. They take time to kind of fully settle in. And so we are not cars. Like we don't go 0 to 60. Like we don't just go really quick, right? We take time. It takes time for us to build this new thing. So the very first thing that I want you to do is, if you're beginning to return to the wisdom of stillness, or if you're wanting to step into more stillness, is to first become aware. Start noticing your need, your desire to feel space, to feel the silence. So, this might be maybe in your calendar. You're wanting to fill every single moment. Where can you create space, right? So, just notice, like, oh, wow, go look at your calendar. If you're somebody that uses your calendar, go look at your calendar. Do you have space? Is there space at all in your calendar this week? If not, maybe you want to create some. The second thing is like conversations. Do you try to feel the space in the conversation? Is it like we got to constantly go back and forth? Does it have to be that? Can there just be some space there? While you're on a walk, could you start noticing how you want to quickly turn on the Cosmic Mystic podcast? What if what if you just noticed every time you reached for your phone, your planner, your next to do? What if you just paused instead? What if you just took a moment to pause, to take 3 simple deep breaths before you did the next thing? What if you just became aware? Because awareness, my friend, is the first step in the sacred healing spiral. Awareness. We've got to be aware of what we are doing, of where we are trying to feel all the space. Now, I'm also going to say, like, It's a trauma response. It's like a really common phrase I hear these days. It's a trauma response, right? Wanting to fill all the space is a trauma response. Yes, my friend. And yes, maybe we want to deal with that. Yes, absolutely. I would 100% agree with you on that. And what if right now we just noticed it? What if right now all you did was notice how you're trying to fill space? Just notice it. Next thing I want to say is, what if you just started intentionally adding some moments of silence into your day? Now, as much as I would love for you, and I hear you do, take me on your walk, take me to the gym, take me while you're folding laundry. What if for 5 minutes, maybe even 3 minutes, you didn't turn on that podcast? You didn't turn on the music. You didn't turn on the YouTube video, and you just allowed yourself 3 minutes to do that thing? What if the first 3 minutes of your walk were just in silence? And then turn on the podcast, audiobook, YouTube video, music. What if you just took a few moments? What if before you went to turn on that thing, whatever it is, that you just paused for a moment and you took 3 deep breaths and then you did your thing? What if you just started to create a little bit of space? All right, what about when things start to rise? What about when, okay, Danny, I started to do these moments that you're talking about, and I'm starting to hear things. I'm starting to receive things. I'm starting to realize that there's stuff that I have here. Great, my friend. Meet it without judgment, without wanting to fix it, without wanting to solve it, but just notice it. That's exactly what I did the other day. When I noticed the grief, I was like, ah, thank you. Thank you. Now I know there is something under here in the undercurrent that is driving something, that's driving an action, an idea, a belief, a thing that I'm doing. Okay, I'm noticing it. I'm being aware of it. I don't have to go and solve it right now. As I mentioned, I came back to my calendar and I was like, okay, write it on my little calendar. Look at grief with mom. That's what I did in my space that I've created on my calendar to do that. So that's a time for you. Maybe you call your healer. Maybe you book an inner authority call with me. Like, Danny, hey, this thing came up. What could this be? What might this be? Why? What's the steps I take to work with this? What thoughts do you have? What actions can I do? How can I resolve this, right? Whatever it is, my friend, you've got to first be aware and just notice it. You don't have to do anything right away. Just notice it without judgment. Just be aware of it, because half the battle of it is just noticing it. Noticing the grief, I was like, wow, okay. And so then I was like, this is probably connected to some other things that were happening that I'm like, that's why this was happening. That's why I was wanting this. That's why I was doing these things. This makes a lot of sense. That's it. Not that I'm trying to solve or fix or do anything. I'm just noticing. I'm just being aware of it. Because, my friend, I want you to remind yourself clarity, the clarity you seek is when you are present with self. Because when you can connect with self, when you can have that sacred pause, you'll notice that stillness now becomes a superpower, because you're able to amp up yourself. You're able to come back into alignment with your soul. Now, whenever I do this, I always get some questions. So I want to answer these right here, right now. What if the silence is too loud? Because here's the thing, my friend, the silence can be very loud. This is what I was afraid of in the past. And what that means, what I've realized it means, is that there is a truth that is trying to get your attention. And you don't need to fix it. What did I just say? You don't need to fix it. You just need to feel it. You just need to give it its space and schedule a time, right? Because most of the time we hold it in our bodies, and then we have aches in our backs, or our hips are tight, or our shoulders are tense, right? We start to have these weird feelings in our body. my friend, just notice it. You don't have to fix it. Okay, what if I feel unproductive when I slow down? Oh, that is an unlearning of urgency. That is a huge thing that I had to learn. I had to learn to not be urgent, for things not to be like I could sit on my couch, and that was actually me being productive because I needed to recoup my energy, right? Or I needed to just allow some thoughts to come in, some downloads to receive, because I was lacking the clarity that I was seeking. And it's like I couldn't quite think straight. And when I actually sat and paused, laid down on my couch, I could receive that information. And it was like, oh, that's what I was missing. And then I could go off and do the thing that I wanted to do. But rest is a return to yourself. It's helping yourself trust yourself more. And so unproductive is an unlearning idea that we've all learned, right? We've all been conditioned that we have to keep moving. We have to keep, don't be unproductive. You're not gonna, you don't want to be a burden on society just because I'm taking a 5 minute break. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. All right, what if I can't hear anything? Whew, what if I can't hear anything? I want you to stay anyway. I want you to stay anyway. Just as unlearning ur- urgency is something that you have to unlearn, unlearning that you're not going to hear anything, unlearning that silence is a bad thing, right? It's the same idea. Also, I don't want you to think that you have to hear something, because we all receive information in different ways through our five senses. You'll also notice that as the clairs, right? The clairvoyance, the clairsentience, the clairvoyance, right? The different ways in which we receive information. Clairvoyance is seeing something. So you might see something, you might have a memory, you might have a visual, it might be a flash of something, or it might be a full-on story. It also could be, right? It could be something that you actually hear. It could be something that you feel in your body. Maybe you feel something, and that's like giving you a clue as to something, right? I don't want you to think that stillness has to be, I can't hear anything, Jenny, or I can't see anything. You might be somebody that feels things. So pay attention to the things that you feel in your body. Oftentimes, when I'm working with somebody, I will feel it in my body before I will have the visual or I will hear something. I will feel it in my body and like, oh, there's something to do with your stomach, or there's something to do with your back, or your hips are really tight, or I'm feeling a lot of pressure on, the shoulders, right? What are you carrying, right? Those are the clues. So how you receive information is unique to you. And so when you sit in the silence, first off, stay, stay in there, regardless of what you don't hear or don't see, or whatever it might be. It's relearning. It's a relearning of how you receive information, and that takes practice. All right, my friend, we are going to dive into our breath work for today. So go ahead and get into a comfortable position where you can just be for a moment as we dive into this 20-minute daily somatic breath work. All right. Closing your eyes and taking a nice deep breath, arriving into this moment right here, right now. Taking another nice deep breath in. I want you to allow yourself in this next breath to feel your roots growing down, your grounding cord dropping down into Mother Earth, connecting you to this time, to this place, to right here, to right now. I want you to feel your grounding cord plug in to the core, to the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And just for a moment here, feel the heartbeat of Mother Earth. We have the crystalline energy of amethyst wanting to come through today. So we're going to allow that energy to flow through. You might feel it, sense it, imagine it flowing through the bottoms of your feet all the way up through your body, up through your crown, throughout your entire aura. And this crystalline energy is here to help open up our intuitive channel, to allow us to receive messages. Amethyst is such a great communicator stone. And it has just a very soft, gentle energy with it. At least that's how I sense it. We're going to go ahead and open up our crown chakra and allowing the wisdom, the connection to God our Father, the great I am, the divine source creation universe, to begin to flow in that connection, that unconditional love. We call upon God our Father, the great I am, the divine source creation universe, and we ask for your guidance, for your love, for your support and your protection as we move through our session today. We call upon Mother Earth and we ask for your loving, nurturing, caring, supportive energy to be with us as we move through today. We call upon our guides, our guardians, our angels, our spirit team, and we ask for your divine love. We ask for your insights, your wisdom, the signs and synchronicities that are guiding us on our path for our greatest and highest good. We call upon the four archangels, Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, and Oriel, and the guardians of the watchtowers to watch over, to stand guard and protect us. We call upon the four elements, earth, air, fire, water, and the four directions, east, south, west, north. And we ask for you to be within our thoughts, our words, our actions as we work towards what we desire to manifest. We are so blessed and honored for your presence in our life, for the ways in which you guide us, always, in all ways. And we ask for this or greater. And so it is. Take a nice deep breath in, my friend. Letting it go. Once again. Letting it go. And on this next breath in, I want you to drop your consciousness down into your heart space, center of your chest, tip of your sternum. This is the seat of the soul. This is where you get to connect with you. This is a great place to come in your silence, in your space. And in this space, I'm going to invite you to have a seat, to find a place that feels cozy. Take a nice deep breath in. And you'll notice the energy or the crystal amethyst. Might be a small crystal, might be a bigger crystal. You can hold it in your hand, or if you can touch it, go ahead and allow yourself to hold or touch that amethyst crystal. And however it is coming to you, whether you know what this crystal looks like or not, it doesn't matter. However it's coming to you now is perfectly right. This crystalline energy here with this beautiful amethyst crystal is going to help you disconnect. Disconnect from the desire to fill space, from the things that are blocking your energy, the need to perform, the need to do, the need to be, wherever that is blocked. So take a nice deep breath in. And in a moment, we're going to shift our breathing in through the mouth, out through the mouth. And that will be your opportunity to disconnect, to release, to let go of anything that is blocking you from allowing stillness, from allowing silence, and from allowing space. Here we go. What do you need to unlearn in order to allow space? Use your breath to clear out any connections, any energy that you're ready to release around this. Where do you need to release others' expectations of you needing to do, of you needing to fill up that space? Over halfway there, my friend. Keep going. Keep disconnecting from the outdated expectations, identities, stress. Let it go. Your soul deserves to be heard. You deserve space. You deserve stillness. You deserve connection to self. 30 seconds. Let it all out. Let it all go. Release the clutter. Beautiful, my friend. Take a nice deep breath in. Letting it go. Once again. Letting it go. Now on this next breath, biggest breath you've taken so far today, holding it at the top and connecting in to your soul, your spirit. And what do they want you to know right now? What message do you need to hear? When you're ready to release that breath, let it go and feel that message land deeper within your body. Let yourself notice without judgment if it's something that you've been needing to hear. Let that fill you. If it's something that maybe you're not quite ready to process, just give it its awareness. We're going to shift our breathing now, in through the nose, out through the mouth, slowing it down even more, and giving ourselves some space. Tune in for the answers you've been seeking, for the awareness you've been calling in, and for the alignment with your soul. And in our last minute here, you've created some space, you've received a message, or maybe messages. What do you now choose? What do you now choose? All right, my friend, moving into our final breath hold for today. Take a nice deep breath in and let it all go. Once again, letting it all go. And one more time. And as you release this one, letting it all go fully and completely, I want you to sit with that breath out in that silence, in that stillness, for as long as you choose. And when you're ready to breathe that next breath in, breathe in gratitude. Gratitude for this time you have taken, this sacred pause, this time with yourself. Gratitude for the opportunity and the opportunities that you have. The ones that you've accomplished, the ones that are on their way to you. Gratitude for the messages, the insights, the clarity, the silence that you're now stepping into. Gratitude for the choices you are now making and the ones you've made in the past, for they all brought you here to this very moment. And gratitude for the day ahead, the past day. And I want you to take this moment right here, now that you've taken this sacred pause for yourself, to send gratitude for a person or maybe several people you would love to send some gratitude today to. We're just going to send that energetically to them, letting them know how grateful we are for them. And when you've done that, go ahead and gather all the learnings you had today in this brief session, in this brief pause. And bring them into your awareness so that you can remember them, so that you can move forward with them. remembering this time you took right here. And when you're ready to come back fully and completely, open your eyes. I want you to feel what's here now, my friend. Not what you're supposed to feel, but what's real, what's present, what's here for you. That clarity, that creativity, that next step that's already inside of you. It's waiting to be heard. And silence is where it is. If this resonated with you, my friend, there's more. You've got our August lunar journal or our monthly lunar journal if you're catching this in the future, which is all designed to help you reconnect with you, reconnect with yourself. You can download that. There's a link down below, or you can go to thepeaceteacher.com/lunar journal. And if you're ready to go even deeper, then my friend, book an inner authority call with me. I would love, love, love to map out where you are stuck and help you come home to your embodied power. My friend, until next time, trust the quiet. And remember, silence is the breakthrough. Keep shining your unique light.